Welcome to Liesel's Artistic Studio. Today, I'm doing this quick bonus video in addition to my weekly Thursday watercolor tutorials so I can talk a little bit about different ways to set up your watercolor palette. I will also talk about how much water you should use with your paints, so make sure you watch this video to the end so you don't miss out on any of those great tips. Also, really quick, you can find the products or similar products to the ones I will show you today by using the paid links in the description of this video. I recently became an Amazon associate, and as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. So thank you in advance for any purchases made through my links. Okay, first off, I will say there are many ways to set up your watercolor palette, so I will go over some of the ways that I like to use, but keep in mind, you should do what works best for you, whether it's something you see here today or not. So the first way, which is my personal preference to create a palette, is to have a palette tray, like this or similar to this that has a lot of wells to put your watercolor paints in. And then it also has mixing trays built in. This palette works great for tube paints, especially if you have certain colors that you use often. For this palette, I just take my tube paints and squeeze in a good amount so that it fills the well halfway to 3/4 of the way full. So depending on the tube size or the size of the well, you may use all of the paint in the tube or maybe just half of it. Then I put the lid on and store the rest for when the paint starts to run out. After you first put the paints in the well, it will be pretty soft in consistency, but it will slowly harden up more and more the longer it sits in the tray. I also like to label or write the paint color names on the side of my palette, so I always know exactly what the color is, so I don't get it mixed up, and so I can refill it with the same color later if it starts to run out. This particular palette also has a lid I can put over my paints to cover and protect them when I'm not painting, which is another thing that I like. I personally also like to put my colors in order, similar to the color wheel, so it's organized and easy to find the colors I'm looking for. Here I've got my blues, then I move on to my greens, I have yellows and oranges, move on to reds, pinks, purples, and on this side I've got my neutral colors, the browns and the blacks. I really like this way to set up paints. I always have all the colors I need right at my fingertips. They're ready to go. The one disadvantage to this is that I am limited to the amount of colors I can have on this palette because I can only put in as many colors as I have wells. So moving to some different ways where you are not as limited, let's talk about where you have no limits to the colors you can store or use, and you don't have to have any sort of special palette to put them on. Here I've got a metal butcher tray with a ceramic coating. You can also use a plain ceramic or a plastic tray or plate. Then you just take your tube paints and squeeze some blobs of paint onto the tray. Again, I like to arrange them similar to the color wheel. Then when you paint, you just use your brush. You take bits of color to paint or mix with. Then of course you have this nice big area on the tray to mix paints on. This method is great if you don't have a permanent palette tray with paint wells. You can also use an unlimited amount of paint colors. The downside to this method is that it doesn't permanently store paints as good as if they were in wells. You might even potentially waste more paint this way if you choose to clean the palette off for each new project or if you need different colors than what's already there. Another way that I've seen but don't actually have myself, so here's a picture of what I'm talking about, is the idea of combining those first two methods. Basically, you can buy separated square paint wells and create your own palette tray. This way, you can store and use as many or as few colors as you'd like, or trade them out. These ones even come with magnets you can stick on the bottom if you want. In this method, the paints are out of the tube and ready to go, but you will need to consider buying or making something to store all of the individual squares in. This particular brand does give the option to buy metal trays so you can store them in if you're interested in this method. The last way I'll show you that you've seen me use on many of my tutorials is this little 12-well ceramic tray. I like to use this for some of my tutorials if I don't want to waste the time during the tutorial mixing colors and or water to my paints. So I'm not sure that I would recommend this method to you for everyday use, but of course you can decide what you like. When I use this, I am basically preparing my paints so they are completely ready to use. If I'm making a single color of paint in a well, I will take either a blob from the tube and mix water with it until I get consistency that I want. Or I'll take a color from my palette and apply it to the well, adding more water, more paint, or even another color for a mixed color until I get the look I want. At this point, I just continue to add water or paint until I have the amount of color I think I will need or use for my project. I will also continue to test out my colors on paper to make sure it has the right color, vibrance, and value I'm looking for. Then I have these center wells that I can further use for mixing if I need. Now this all brings me to the question people have asked of how much water should I mix with my paints. The answer is fairly simple. Think of adding water as if you were adding white to a color. The more amount of water you add, the lighter, more soft, and more diluted the color will become. Then, the more straight and pure color you have with a lesser amount of water will give you a darker, richer, and thicker color. So I recommend just testing out your color several times until you get the right balance of water and color that you're looking for. I will add this little side note too. These are called watercolor paints for a reason. You do have to have some amount of water to your colors or they will not spread on your paper as easily as they should. My upcoming tutorial this coming Thursday is going to be a great way to practice adding water or color to your paints because the entire painting is done using only one color. So make sure you don't miss that. And I guess that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed these tips on setting up your watercolor palette, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you next time.